I think we are live on YouTube right now. So I'm going to proceed as if we are. Sorry, folks. We were set up. Everything was perfect. And then we pressed the button to go live. And we had this fancy opening. And, you know, as they say, Murphy's Law. But anyway, we are here now. And so we will begin. Thank you for hanging in there. If you're still hanging in there, we are. So hello, everyone. And welcome to Art Tour Live. My name is Annette Gaffney, and this is my lovely co-host, Vanna White. Oh no, it's Susan Manchester. And we are members of the Art Tour Collective, a group of 55 professional artists established in West Toronto for over 25 years. Tonight, we are streaming with a few problems, but we'll get there, to you live from my studio near Bloor West Village in the west end of the city of Toronto. We are very excited to be doing this. Susan and I have the distinct pleasure of presenting to you this evening the work of 10 of our talented members. Many of you who received an email inviting you to watch this will likely have attended our annual art tour, which usually takes place every spring and brings you into our studios, homes, and exhibition spaces in the High Park, Swansea, Bloor West Village Junction, and Babby Point neighborhoods of West Toronto. Unfortunately, our art tour has been postponed for the past 2 years due to pandemic restrictions, of course. And as artists, we've had to be extra creative in order to continue showing our work. And this live stream is one way we can reach our audience in a safe and personal way. Tonight is our first live stream event, in case you didn't notice. We're still working out the bugs. We're artists. We're not very technical. It's only about 30 minutes long, but actually probably about 35 minutes now, and features one-of-a-kind works of art, all priced below $500, which is a very good price for the quality of work you'll be seeing this evening. Now, this is an art sale, so any viewer watching this evening has the option to purchase these works by typing the word BUY into the comments, that's buy, BUY into the comments section, and then simply emailing us at contact@arttourcollective.com. And we will get in touch with you after the live stream to connect you with the artist and arrange purchase and delivery details. So we offer free art delivery anywhere in the Greater Toronto area and reasonable rates to ship to areas beyond. So we hope that you enjoy our very first live stream event. It's memorable, that's for sure. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and stay tuned for future events. And now let's finally start looking at some art. So Susan, we have a piece here. I'm going to put some information up. Why don't you tell us about this lovely piece here?
All right, I'm delighted to be here tonight. And I'm going to introduce first SANDRA FRANKE's art. She is a mixed media artist working in acrylics, gesso, pastels, pencils, crayons, collage, and spray paint. And through these many layers, she determines the right balance of all the elements. The process is seen as a series of mistakes from which beauty emerges. The painting title of this is Global Warming, part of Sandra's series, Cosmos. This was started during the pandemic. This painting reflects our need to understand our place in the universe, as does the other paintings that she has completed in this series. Our attempts at understanding can range from space travel to studies of minute insects. Sandra says, "It is hoped that through the experience of this painting and others, a new balance is found in nature. You may experience such emotions as ambivalence, fear, awe, and sheer helplessness when dealing with global warming." Let's take a closer look at this painting. Here you can see how the blue draws you in. You are part of the painting. You might ask yourself, isn't that the point? To be part of the painting? To be part of any painting? Take a look at the texture here. You can see it rising right off the canvas. And she has used many techniques to get the shapes in there.
Mm-hmm.
We're looking at palette knife, perhaps,
Mm-hmm.
and the way she mixes the paint around is beautiful, drawn right in.
And certainly timely with everything that's been going on in the world right now. This piece definitely is very timely for especially all the global all the meetings that we've been having across the world to do with global warming.
Yes.
I like this little blob of red here that she's put through for extension as well. This is a great piece by SANDRA FRANKE. So on to the next artist. We are going to be now looking at the work of an artist by the name of Sid Palacio. A little bit about Sid. Sid is, actually I should tell you the name of this first, shouldn't I? This is called Climbing Higher, and it's 16 by 20, mixed media, canvas, and plexiglass, and it's $400. So Sid is a self-taught mixed media abstract artist. She first picked up a paintbrush in 2008 and has experimented with a variety of painting mediums, surfaces, and styles. She's been exhibiting her work at many venues over the past 10 years, and her art is held in private collections throughout North America and Europe. And a very interesting thing about Sid, she founded the very first creative arts charity for people living with cancer in 2010. It's called the Art for Cancer Foundation, and she ran that until 2020. Sid is a strong believer in the healing power of art. Most of her art pieces are represent concepts from within or intrinsic, and her happy place is definitely in front of a blank canvas. So now let's take a closer look at this piece by Sid.
This piece is unique to Sid.
Sorry.
Of ways. She's combined a variety of mediums here, acrylics, inks, and modeling paste, but also married two painting surfaces together, canvas and plexiglass, to provide the viewer with a 3D effect as they look through the painting. And if you look closely, you can see that the many layered textures add an almost tactile essence to this work. The complementary gold and blue hues bring harmony throughout the composition, as well as a pop of color. And it's all delineated by dark lines to emphasize the color and add some depth. You can see that she's finished the edges in black, which means you have the option of framing it, if you wish. The message that Sid wishes to convey through this painting is one of hope and perseverance. There's always a higher mountain to climb in life on the journey to self-actualization.
And so one of the things I personally love about this piece is the turquoise and gold that she uses. Every time I look at this image, I see different things. I see a figure here, like looks like two dancing figures. I see almost like a vase here. And I find that's one of the really interesting things about abstract art. You notice things that you've never noticed before. So it always makes that piece of art novel. Like you're not always looking at the same thing. You're always going to see something else, a different image in there, and it keeps it really interesting and fresh. And that was Climbing Higher by Sid Palacio. I'm going to turn it over to Susan now, and she is going to present you with, I believe, John Lynch's work.
That's right. John Lynch is a classically trained artist, and you're going to really enjoy this piece. This piece is called Ponte Rotto, which means broken bridge. John completed a full curriculum of study at the Academy of Realist Art. His works are featured in private collections in Toronto, Canada, and around the world. His specialty includes landscapes, portraits, and figurative works. This painting, Ponte Rotto, is part of John's 5 Days in Rome series. John visited there in 2019, and this is a most amazing thing to me. He visited there with his 99-year-old father, and it was a wonderful trip. This painting is oil on panel and looks down on the River Tiber. John writes, after floods, restorations, and abandonment, the bridge stands forlorn in mid-river. Maybe forlorn, but indeed beautiful. Enjoy this painting in your home or office. This is a taste of Rome, and it's truly delicious. Let's take a close look at this painting. Notice the movement of the river as it contrasts with the stationary bridge. You might wonder who crossed this bridge and what their life stories are like. A beautiful piece, and you're also looking through an arch. Is it a tree? Is it another bridge? So it's a wonderful rendition of that scene.
Beautiful. Okay, so folks, after looking at this lovely piece of art by John Lynch, we're actually thinking that we're going to go back and re-show two of our artists' works because we have had some technical difficulties, and we want to give people time to find the new link. We don't know what happened. We were all set up. These things happen, but either way, we think we're going to kind of back up, and then we'll continue with the other artists. So I hope that's okay with everybody. We just want to make sure that we don't, that nobody misses out. So how about we bring back up Sandra Franke's piece?
Okay.
And then we'll do that again, hers and Sid's, and then we'll continue on with the broadcast. So I'm going to bring back Susan's piece here while we're waiting. Okay. Sorry, folks. We're doing our best. We'll get better at this as time goes by. And we're going to bring back Sandra Franke. Here we are. And I'm going to do that. There we go.
All right. Here we are with Sandra Franke's painting. It's called Global Warming. And Sandra is a mixed media artist working in. I'm giggling because I was just about to announce the price, which is it's $250, and it went off the screen. But she is a mixed media artist working in acrylics, gesso, pastels, pencils, crayons, collage,
Everything.
and spray paint.
Everything. She works in everything.
And through these many layers, and the layers which she puts on so expertly, the right balance is achieved. The process is seen as a series of mistakes from which beauty emerges. And again, the painting title, Global Warming. This is part of Sandra's series, Cosmos, which was started during the pandemic. This painting, and the others in this series, reflect our need to understand our place in the universe. Our attempts at understanding can range from space travel to studies of minute insects. Sandra says, it is hoped that through the experience of this painting and others, a new balance is found in nature. You may experience such emotions as ambivalence, fear, awe, and sheer helplessness when dealing with global warming. Let's take a close look at this painting. The blue draws you in. You are part of the painting. You might ask yourself, isn't that the point? To be part of the painting? To be part of any painting? Here you can see the texture which rises off the canvas, and it's obvious that Sandra has used many things to put the images on the canvas. And there's that lovely spot of red which we just passed over in the lower right-hand corner. You can just see that. Gorgeous piece.
The other thing about this piece too is it actually, because of the color combinations in it, it would fit in a lot of different spaces.
Yes.
Like we've seen it in a couple of different rooms that are staged there, but like really, this painting goes in so many different, like.
It does. Yes. Yeah. And the size is just right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sandra Franke.
Sandra Franke, yes, again. And we are also going to again look at the work of Sid Palacio. And here she comes. She's coming back up on the easel. we're getting in the flow, guys. We're gonna get there. Just stay with us. We're getting there. Okay, we're just getting going now. Okay, so this next piece we have is by Sid Palacio entitled Climbing Higher. And it's mixed media on canvas and plexiglass, measuring 20 by 16, priced at $400. Sid is a self-taught mixed media abstract artist. She first picked up her paintbrush in 2008 and has experimented with a variety of painting mediums, surfaces, and styles. She has been exhibiting her work at many venues over the past 10 years. Her art is held in private collections throughout North America and Europe. Sid founded Canada's first creative arts charity for people living with cancer in 2010, the Art for Cancer Foundation, which she ran until 2020. She's a strong believer in the healing power of art. Most of her art pieces represent concepts from within, and her happy place is always in front of a blank canvas. Now let's take a closer look at this piece.
This piece is unique to Sid Palacio in a number of ways. She's combined a variety of mediums here, acrylics, inks, and modeling paste, but also married two painting surfaces together, canvas and plexiglass, to provide the viewer with a 3D effect as they look through the painting. And if you look closely, you can see that the many layered textures add an almost tactile essence to this work. The complementary gold and blue hues bring harmony throughout the composition, as well as a pop of color. And it's all delineated by dark lines to emphasize the color and add some depth. You can see that she's finished the edges in black, which means you have the option of framing it, if you wish. The message that Sid wishes to convey through this painting is one of hope and perseverance. There's always a higher mountain to climb in life on the journey to self-actualization.
Okay, lovely piece there by Sid Palacio. And we're going to go again to John Lynch's piece. This is a beautiful work of art he created.
Yes, John Lynch is a classically trained artist who completed a full curriculum of study at the Academy of Realist Art. His works are featured in private collections in Toronto and around the world. His specialty, landscapes, portraits, and figurative works. This painting is called Ponte Rotto, which means broken bridge. It's part of John's 5 Days in Rome series. John visited there in 2019, and it is amazing that he did so with his 99-year-old father. I love that.
Yeah, me
I just
too.
think that's wonderful. This painting is oil on panel and looks down on the River Tiber. John writes, after floods, restorations, and abandonment, the bridge stands forlorn in mid-river. Maybe forlorn, but indeed, it's so beautiful. Enjoy this painting in your home or office. This is a taste of Rome, and it's truly delicious. Let's take a closer look at this painting. As you do so, please look at the movement of the river as it contrasts with the stationary bridge. You might wonder who crossed this bridge and what their life stories were. Look at the light on the bridge, the shadows, and you're looking through an arch, which could be a tree, it could be another bridge. It's a wonderful rendition of this scene.
And actually, we should probably take this off the canvas and bring it up a little bit closer so you can see The blue in the sky here is extremely vibrant and almost lifelike. You can't really capture it with the camera that we have here, which is why we do a close-up video. But hopefully you can see the intricacy of this and the fine brushwork. John really is an amazing painter in the classical style. And this was a wonderful memory for him when he was there with his father in Rome. And the next, and also, I should remind everybody, this is an art sale, so if you see anything you like so far, please type buy in the comments, B-U-Y, and email us at our address on the screen, and we will then put you in touch with the artist. So we'll go to our next artist now, who you haven't seen yet this evening, and this would be Ingrid Whittaker. I'm going to bring up her lovely painting right now. And this is a very, very meditative piece entitled Serene Skies. We hope you guys can see it, but we'll get a close-up of this so everybody can see what the details are like and the true color. Ingrid Whittaker is a painter who loves reflecting nature and her environment in her work. She's lived, painted, shown, and sold her art. There's my head in the way. Sorry, guys. In both Europe and Canada. Her European work shows cities and villages, but in Canada, she likes showing the beauty of the wonderful natural world. Ingrid spends a lot of time in cottage country, and this particular piece shows her love for the Ontario landscape with its many lakes and hills. And now let's take a closer look at this beautiful painting by Ingrid.
Looking at this painting, you can almost picture yourself sitting on the red Muskoka chairs, gazing at the golden sky and enjoying the evening sunset by the lake. The warm orange and yellow hues in the sky are complemented by the blue hues of the wispy shadowed clouds. The pink and purple ripples in the lake add both depth and colorful highlights to the water, reflected from the sky. You can almost hear the buzz of cicadas and clicking of the crickets and perhaps a forlorn loon calling in the distance. Whittaker encompasses well the title of this painting, Serene Skies. The bright, bold colors bring life and energy to any room, but also a sense of promise and calm. This work is painted with acrylic paints and is fully varnished to avoid damage and chipping. It's painted on pine panel and is wired and ready for hanging.
And again, if you're interested in buying this beautiful, warm, and meditative piece, just type buy in the comments and send us an email. And back to you, Susan. Who do you have next?
My next artist, who I'm pleased to present, is Nadine Dennis. Nadine is a painter in many mediums: acrylic, oil, watercolor, to mention a few. She studied fine art at York University, OCAD, and Toronto School of Art. Nadine's prime motivation is nature, and I think
That's okay.
okay,
I'll straighten
we'll
it
get
out.
it. And her influences, you can see flowers, branches, and greenery. During COVID, she created a fanciful world to escape the chaos of the city. This painting is called A Dream of Trees, and it is so whimsical. Painted with acrylic paint and molding paste. The molding paste you will see later when we take a close-up of this painting. The molding paste helps create the texture in the work. She's used a palette knife to help create flowing lines. And her inspiration for much of her work and for this one, old growth forests. Another inspiration, Vancouver Island. In this dreamscape, Nadine asks, can you find the moss maiden? This image is common in Nadine's work. The image is symbolic of the nurses during the pandemic, excuse me, who helped sustain life. Let's take a closer look at this painting. Here you can see, you begin to see the texture and the flowing nature of the paint. There is a fluid movement here. Beautiful. And even tendrils that are done with very, very fine instrument. And a wonderful use of green. There are so many different kinds of green. And that question, can you find the Moss Maiden?
Beautiful piece by Nadine. And you can't really see it, so we should bring it up a little bit closer. I'm not sure if the viewers can get a good idea that you can see how textured it is there, but there's some really, really fine brushwork here. You have to see this up close to appreciate it, but we'll show the video. Did we show the video already? We did show the video. Sorry, folks, we did show the video.
We did.
I'm sorry.
Where?
I don't even know what to say
We
at this
just love
point.
Nadine's work so much.
We do. We do. It's a beautiful piece. It really is. And we're going to go on to the next piece, which is by, and yes, folks, BUY in the comments if you'd like to purchase this beautiful work of art. And then email us at contact@ArtTourCollective, and we'll put you in touch with Nadine. And the next piece that we have here is by the one and only Susan Manchester. And I'm going to talk about Susan's work. This is a beautiful piece. We make sure we have the whole thing in the frame there. Now, not only is Susan my co-host, she is also an artist specializing in acrylic media, landscapes, and abstracts. I'm sorry to be talking about you while you're here because I know it's kind of weird, but this is how we're doing this. We're talking about each other's art because we're not very good at talking about our own art. So, and Susan's preferred mixed media combination is paper, primarily Japanese papers, and acrylic paint, resulting in the creation of a fantasy world into which the viewer is willingly drawn. The idea of a world that is part realism and part fantasy first caught Susan's attention when she was exposed to the work of Thomas Cole and Salvador Dali, two vastly different artists. In Dali's surrealism, there is that element of the fantastic by which Susan is so intrigued. And from Thomas Cole's early 1800s paintings, she incorporates her love of depth into the grandeur of nature. Susan has been a member of the Art Tour Collective for many years. She has studied with Modesto Ingrata, Linda Woolven, and John Leonard. Susan is a published poet with 2 books to her credit, woman of many talents, we have right here. Besides co-hosting, she does many things. Yeah. And she is now retired from teaching and is a full-time artist. Let's take a closer look at this piece so you can see all the beautiful details in it. And don't forget to type BUY in the comments at any point if you'd like to acquire this beautiful piece of art.
In her painting Gathering Autumn, Susan Manchester uses paper to inspire color, depth, and contrast in the trees. By combining vibrant, even unrealistic colors for trees with dark, pure tones of purple, blue, and/or green for earth and sky, she's able to achieve depth as well as a combination of fantasy and realism. The edges of the paper create some of the lines along which the branches and tree trunks are formed. And the sunset or sunrise fills the upper left quarter of the canvas. So much light is to filter through much of the bottom half of the painting. A happy gathering indeed. The many trees in this painting are not unusual in Manchester's work. Trees are featured in most of her paintings, perhaps from her early knowledge of Thomas Cole's work and the Hudson River artists.
And I have to mention, this painting has a really magical element to it. It's like another world you're walking into. You can definitely see the influence that Susan has with surrealism. And the colors are so happy. I mean, you can never really relay what you're seeing in real life compared to on a screen. And everybody's screen's going to have a different resolution, obviously. But this has very, very bright colors in it that are very cheerful. And it's just, you know, it gives you a real sort of sense of almost like a childlike fantasy sort of feel to it. It's really beautiful. And if you look closely, you see all of the, you can't capture this in the camera, but there's a lot of detail in this piece here that you really have to see up closely. And hopefully the video has captured some of that for you. If you'd like to buy this piece, type BUY in the comments and send us an email at our email address on here. And so the next one is my work, apparently. I'm going to let Susan take care of that. This is a little weird, but here we are.
Yes. No, it's not weird at all. It's wonderful. I better be very good at this since Annette is sitting right here. But she is a wonderful artist and becoming a lovely friend. I mean, doing something like this, you really get to know the person you're working with. And it's really been a great time. Annette came to Canada from England when she was 9 years old. She has identified as an artist for as long as she can remember. And before I go any further, I'll just mention the title of this so you can be looking at it and thinking about it as I'm speaking. The name of this painting is Hummingbird 1. She started to take on commissions, and in her 20s, she seriously pursued the study of art. She chose acrylics as her medium. And she has exhibited in galleries, and she has been a member of the art tour for about 15 years. She's passionate about reducing her carbon footprint. This is reflected in her art. Currently, she is working on her psychology degree at York University. She is working towards becoming an art therapist in order to help children and those with special needs. And in the painting, Hummingbird 1, she has used acrylic paint, and I love this word, upcycled media on canvas. She is taking pieces from coffee pods, things that would be used in landfill, plastics, all kinds of things that she has put in her paintings. She combines single-use packaging and items destined for landfill. She creates a message of hope by doing this. The flower is composed of metallic pieces from aluminum coffee pots. She also uses bits of household plastics. By merging disposable items into her work, Annette's intention is to foster awareness for more resourceful and creative use of our waste products. Let's take a closer look at this painting. I am mesmerized by the hummingbird's motion. I know it looks stationary, but because it is pointing with its beak towards the flower, and the flower is pointing towards the hummingbird, there is tremendous hope in that. There's that, it draws you in as well. And obviously using objects on the canvas speaks to the idea of texture. And it's very, very beautiful. And this is nice because it's horizontal. Most, there seems to be a lot of artwork these days that is vertical. And the number of people lately that have said to me, do you have a horizontal piece? And mostly I have to say a lot of mine are vertical. They do not have this perspective. So I thought that was quite unique about this piece. It's beautiful.
I think you should start making some horizontal pieces.
Yes, I think I should. How was that? And that was okay?
That was great.
Was it okay?
It was wonderful. Thank you. There's a wonderful representation. You did a great job. And the next piece we're going to have up here, folks, is by our lovely person behind the scenes, who you cannot see, but she's keeping us together here.
Yep.
And that is by our dear Lori Ryerson. I'm just bringing her piece out right now. And I'm sorry, folks, we have the giggles. We're doing our best.
Yeah.
We did not expect to have the issues that we had, so we're just a little thrown off. But let's talk about this beautiful piece that we have right here. I hope you can see it well. Again, you're not going to get the full effect of the colors and how beautifully framed this piece is. It's just a really elegant piece. So our behind-the-scenes techie is Lori Ryerson. She is a full-time artist who specializes in travel and landscape photography. She is an accredited member of both the prestigious Ontario Society of Artists and the Society of Canadian Artists. And her work can be found in personal and corporate collections in both Canada and the US. In the last 2 years, because of the pandemic, Lori has had to rely on finding inspiration in locations from 1 minute to 1 hour from her front door. And luckily, Ontario and Mother Nature provide no shortage of subject matter. I love how she finds patterns and shapes and turns them into abstract works of art that still capture the essence in the original image. You can still see the depth of the woods, which kind of pull you in, and the perpendicular lines connect in such a way as to create almost like a fibrous effect, much like the barks of the trees. Lori is a genius at being able to, in her abstract image, create so much going on that reflects and puts pointers to the original image that she was shooting in the first place. I hope that makes sense, but it's a very inspired piece by Lori Ryerson, and I'm actually going to show you a video that will show you a much closer view of what she's done here. Let's take a look at that.
This delightful piece is what Lori Ryerson calls a natural abstract, inspired by a stand of aspens in their beautiful fall colors, especially with the light against dark elements, which pull you in and out and move you all around the image. She's combined 2 photo techniques to create this effect. The first is intentional camera movement, which makes use of a long shutter speed while she deliberately moves the camera, and that's what creates these long sweeping lines you see here. The second is multiple exposure, which is putting many images together in the one frame, and combining these 2 techniques creates a lovely dreamy mood and movement in an otherwise static situation. This photo is printed on paper, laminated with an archival coating onto board with no glass in front, so you won't get any kind of reflection from nearby lighting. And this allows the viewer to just go straight into the image with no obstruction. It's beautifully finished off with an elegant slim white frame and ready to hang.
And there you have that, folks. Type BUY in the comments if you would like to acquire this beautiful, elegant piece, and we'll put you in touch with the artist. You can contact us at our email here. And I'm going to now send you over to Susan for the next artist. And who do we have? We've got Christine JERMYN. Okay, let's take a look at Christine's lovely piece.
Yes. This is the last piece, but certainly not least.
We've got one more after
Oh,
that.
do we?
Yes, we do.
I thought we were done.
You're done. I am not done. You are done.
Oh, dear. Well, speaking about, I forgot.
Carry on.
I'm going. Okay. Christine, I'm delighted to present your piece. Christine was born in Ireland and has called Toronto her home for many years. She is continually inspired by the beauty and resilience of the natural world. She strives to represent the miracle of nature in modes that are colorful, expressive, and accessible. This piece that you are looking at is called Sunrise Glory. She believes it is more important than ever to find joy and beauty in nature and art, especially during the times that we've just come through. This is a perfect piece to look at that, to look at after what we've all gone through. Christine takes many photographs while she walks through the neighborhood. She takes pictures of flowers, colorful clothes on passersby, shop windows. Any number of things become reference materials for future paintings. She uses acrylic paints and mediums to achieve her desired semi-abstract outcome. I like that description, semi-abstract. This painting, Sunrise Glory, is part of her Blossom series. I've seen other paintings in this series, and they're all beautiful. Very, very well done. This is the result of seeing a vista of colorful summer flowers on an early morning walk. Let's take a closer look at this painting. Look at the depth that she accomplishes here by using the darker gray color. Also the centers of the flowers draw you in. There is an iridescence, you can see right there, an iridescent paint used. There is a wisp of a sort of a pearl color there. So she has, she's used this, and the colors are fluid. You'll see that they expand, they seem to expand on the canvas. It's a beautiful piece.
If you'd like to purchase this piece, type buy in the comments and email us at our email address here. The colors in this are just delightful, like the pinks and the almost like a lime yellow. Just say like a lime color that she has in here. And if you just take it up and if you get a sense of it here, it's a 16 by 16. It's a really nice size to fit on, one of those smaller walls that you don't really know what to do with it, but it could really use a pop of color. This would be perfect for something like that. Like you need to see this in real life. It doesn't, again, the video doesn't do it justice, but we're doing our best to represent this beautiful work. And that's Sunrise Glory. Right. And that is your last piece to present this evening?
It is my last piece.
Okay, well, I have one more special piece to present to everybody, and I'm very excited to show this to you. I am going to hold it up to you here, and I'm going to attach it so that you will be able to get a sense of. Now, this is Joan Burdett Ness's piece, Under a Mackerel Sky. It is a suspended free hanging mobile, and here we go. You can actually level it like that. Perfect. There we go. This is just a sublime piece. Joan is a full-time artist. She has been her entire life, her entire adult life. And she's worked across many disciplines in many different media, painting in both oil and watercolor, botanical and ornithological illustration. That means birds, I just found out, by the way. So at one point, Joan did bird illustrations. She has done stained glass, even puppetry. The last few years, she's been making multimedia boats out of wood, paper, cloth, beads, etc. And why boats, you may ask? It is likely that her dual ancestral heritage of Scandinavian seafarers and Yankee boat builders have inspired her love for wooden sailing vessels. She sees them as a metaphor for what boats represent to us: keeping on course, weathering storms, safe passage, navigating through life, freedom of spirit. She enjoys the slow craftsmanship, precision, and balance of them, the magic and delight of finding materials and making them emerge as a piece of art. And so now we'll take a closer look at Joan's piece here. Just give me a minute, folks, and I'm going to bring up a close-up video for you to see of this really exceptional piece.
This beautiful handcrafted piece is a suspended free-hanging mobile made by artist Joan Burdett Ness. She made it from cherry wood, found driftwood, shells, beads, and watercolor painted sakishu paper. It gently spins in the air, and gazing at it has a calming and meditative effect as you watch and imagine the narwhal whales leaping around the boat as it bobs in the sea. The artist really enjoys creating art that has movement and describes her inspiration of the piece as a beautiful morning in September when the mackerel sky was vivid blue and there was a migration of raptors soaring in spirals high above the clouds. That sky inspired the sail of this boat, and the phenomena of migration reminded me of so many sea-dwelling creatures that also engage in remarkable migrations. This delicate and intricate work of art also comes with a protective box for transportation.
And if you would like to buy this beautiful, eloquent piece, you just need to type buy in the comments and then send us an email and someone will get in touch with you. This piece is just incredible. Joan and I are looking at it. It's just exquisite. You can see where Joan has actually signed it on I think the front part of the boat is the bow. Let me just remove this here so we can get a bigger picture. It really is a highly unique piece. It's three-dimensional, and that's not something you often see. Not too many of the people in our group actually do a lot of three-dimensional. So Joan is very unique in that respect.
I can't imagine getting it to balance. That's the thing that is so incredible to me.
Yeah,
how balanced it is, and then I imagine sitting in a room as this is moving occasionally. I think it's beautiful.
Yeah, the effect of the whole thing is really mesmerizing and calming as it just kind of sits. I've had it in my studio, and it just kind of picks up the airflow every once in a while and just slowly spins around. It really is a beautiful and outstanding piece. And with that, I think we're off the big bang there with our finish with Joan's lovely piece here. And that is all of the art that we have for you to show you this evening, folks. Sorry we were off to a bumpy start, but we have hopefully represented everybody quite well, all 10 pieces. If you would like to purchase any piece you saw, or you'd like to see any more from any particular artist, you can still either send us a comment on YouTube, inquire at contact@arttourcollective.com, or go to our website, www.arttourcollective.com, to find out more about any of our artist members or link to their individual websites. We'll have a summary at the closing of this live stream of all of the pieces that were on display tonight. We'll also be posting a recording of this live stream. I'm actually afraid to look at that because of the way we started out, but it is what it is. That will remain on our YouTube channel for posterity, and to remind us what we did wrong and not do it wrong the next time. So if you'd like to have another look at the art, it will be available for you to watch in recorded form on our YouTube channel. Now, let's say you saw something that you that really appealed to you, but you'd like it something, maybe larger or different color or anything like that. Don't hesitate to ask the artist about doing a commission piece. You'd be pleasantly surprised by how easy it can be to have an artist work with you to tailor something to your own particular taste or for your particular space. So thank you kindly for joining us this evening, and please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'd really appreciate that if you haven't already. Finally, on behalf of the Art Tour Collective, we are Susan Manchester.
It was great to be here, and the artists are inspired, and we hope you're inspired by the pieces that we presented tonight. Thank you.
Me too. And on behalf of Lori Ryerson, who is our lovely lady behind the scenes, there she is. She's the one that got us back on track, so you can thank her. And myself, Annette Gaffney, and all of tonight's artists. Thank you guys for having us present your beautiful work. We really appreciate it. It was an honor. And thank you for continuing, everybody that's viewing, to support Canadian and local artists. We really do appreciate that. And we wish you all the very best for the upcoming holiday season. Please stay well, and thank you so much for tuning in.